Hello, hi everybody. Welcome to my channel. You guys, how is everybody doing tonight? It's Friday night. So I'm going to be talking about a number or a couple of different topics regarding men cheating respectfully. That's the topic. That's the title of the video today. I don't know if Janae's going to come on. She's always late. So we'll see. But if you are tuning in, please like the video. Please share the video. If you are not a fan of this ghetto mess that I talk about here on this channel, I do have another channel called Brandy B Review TV. So run on over there and subscribe to that channel. I talk about beauty topics. I do product reviews. It's pretty cool over there. Hey, Vivian, how are you? Thank you for joining in. I appreciate it. And so I do have a special guest. Let me see if I can bring her on. Oh, she's not connected yet. Okay, I'll just wait. But you guys, so have you guys heard of Megan James? Megan James is a reality show star. She was on the Bad Girls Club. I think she's well known for her role on the Basketball Wives reality show. She's an Instagram influencer. So she's one of those girls, but she came out and said that she doesn't mind her man cheating on her as long as he cheats respectfully. Okay, look at Josh. Just don't cheat. Just don't cheat. So what is cheating respectfully, you guys? Megan breaks it down for us. Okay, so Megan says that she doesn't mind her man cheating as long as as long as she doesn't find out. Okay. B, no outside babies. Okay, like Kevin Samuel says, no outside babies. And 3, no diseases. Oh, and 4, don't make the side chick fall in love with you. Okay, so this is what Megan said, you guys. All right, let me bring in Nicole. Hey, Josh. Let me bring in my girl, Nicole. Hello, Nicole. Nicole, you didn't put a picture up.
Oh my gosh. Can I put a picture up?
Put a picture up. We got to see who you are. We got to see your pretty face.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I have to figure out how, girl.
All right. So while Nicole is doing that, Vivian says, I heard her through Abba and Preach. Yeah, they did do a review about it, didn't they? They did one today. I saw that.
Oh my gosh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to put my picture up once I stop driving.
Okay. Oh my God.
Thank you for hopping on. Dangerous.
Thank you for hopping on. You guys, I've got my girl Nicole on today helping me talk about this cheating respectfully topic.
Yes, girl. Let's talk about it.
I know. Okay, so I was just telling everybody, Nicole, what Megan James said, the girl from Basketball Wives, that she said that, she doesn't mind if her man cheats as long as she doesn't find out about it, no outside babies, no diseases, and don't make the side chick fall in love. So, I mean, what do you think about all that?
I mean, it's hard.
Girl.
Cheating respectfully, right? Like, when did that become a thing even to say? But I don't know. Like, it's hard, right? Because it's like, in this day and age now, especially in specific cities like Atlanta, where we all know there's a lot of quote unquote high value men that have a lot of options of high value women. And it's like, do you just kind of expect your man to cheat? And if he does, is it like, okay, I don't want to find out, or is it like a one and done type of thing? for me, like the thing that she said that really got me, she was like, okay, don't bring home any babies, don't bring home any diseases, and don't let her fall in love. Like, A, how can you even control if
Right,
the
that's
side
my
chick falls
thing.
in love?
Yeah, there's no way that you can, like, all of those things that she mentions, it's very slim because it's very highly likely that you're going to get disease because sometimes men and women, when you're in the act, you can't control, hey, let's put on a condom sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
you can. Let me take that back. You can control it, but they've got some real shady women out here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That will, try and weasel their way into
Whatever.
having him not using one. That's the
Correct.
thing.
Correct.
You
Correct.
know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, the woman is pregnant. You got diseases going on, so it's like, and
Mm.
if the woman falls in love, she will probably let you know. She's probably gonna
Right.
gonna ruin it. So you know what I'm saying?
She's gonna act a certain way. She's gonna act a certain way, and it's funny because
Right.
I had conversations with women who are the side chick. Like I literally my
Oh,
the girl who does so one of the girls who does services for me. I shouldn't say it like that. That sounded really bad.
that service is for
My
you.
last
Ooh,
girl, my last girl.
yeah, your eyelash girl. Okay, we
My
got it.
last girl. Yeah. Gotta be specific out here. My last girl. She was telling me about the fact that, she was dealing with this individual. And this guy, he had a whole girlfriend, potentially even just a wife. And she was still trying to trap him. Like she was like, I want his baby. Like I don't care about this other woman. Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, wow, like is that the energy that we're giving out at this point? Like, are we really
Yeah,
settling to be second in this play? You know what I mean? Like it was a
yeah,
lot, and I was just kind of surprised at her that she was even okay with being the side chick, but she was on some like, oh no, I want to have his baby, and I'm crazy, and I'll key his
yeah.
car, I'll do this, I'll do that. So it's like, do you even want to introduce that energy into your life? Me? Nah, not
Right,
so much.
man. See, that's the thing. It's like, when you open your relationship or your marriage up to that kind of acceptance, you're waking up the sleeping giant for something to go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I think I lost Nicole. But you guys, you're waking yourself up. You're setting yourself up to have a failed, committed relationship or a marriage because you're opening up Pandora's box on that. So I mean, I don't think that, you can set rules in your relationship and in your marriage all you want, but having that type of energy is just, it's uncouth. And it's just, it's something called soul ties as well, and you're bonding your energy with that person, you know? What are y'all saying in the comments? Yeah, so Vivian says STDs and HIV is high in Atlanta. Yeah, man. I mean, like, I mean, all things aside, side babies, somebody falling in love. I mean, there's STDs and HIV. I mean, that's, why would you want to open yourself up to that kind of thing, you know? So this is my question I have for you guys for the chat, okay? Is it in a man's nature to cheat? Because I've heard people say, if a man gets the woman of his dreams, he won't cheat. But I don't know about that. What do you guys think? See, it's a dang shame. It is a shame. I mean, look at Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like, Beyonce's gorgeous, in my opinion, and Jay-Z cheated on her. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. So at the end of the day, I don't think it has anything to do with how beautiful the woman is. I think it's more so about, a man's ego, and women cheat too. It's about a woman's ego as well. And I think men and women, I think they cheat for different reasons as well. In the case of Derek Jackson, because he's been, highly, he's been the talk of the topic, maybe a talk of the YouTube center and all over the place. I think in his case, he cheated because he could, and he married a woman who was God fearing or whatever, you know? So he's the kind of man that he he did his dirt on the side, right? And then because he knew his wife was going to want to pray with him after he did his dirt. Like that's the kind of man he is. You know, Josh, yeah, very good question. Yeah. So I mean, I don't think it's I don't think I don't want to believe that it's just in a man's nature to cheat. I think a man can, you know, I think a man has the ability to be strong and not cheat on his wife or committed girlfriend. Because I think it's easy to say that a man, you know, it's in a man's nature to cheat. Like it's easy to say that. But I think that if a man works on himself, you know what I'm saying? And okay. I also think too, like if his woman is working with him, I think the two people can work together. So I will say that, you know, it's not always on the man, right? Because men have needs, women have needs too. So I mean, it goes both ways, you know. All right, Nicole is back, and she's got a picture. Ooh, hey girl, hey.
Hey, boo. Okay, I got it together.
Yes, we see that sexy picture, girl, in that swimsuit.
Yes, and I was able to put a picture. Yay.
Okay, so Nick, let's play what would you rather, okay? And we kind of talked about this before, you and I did, remember, at the park?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
but I don't think you gave me your answer, so here we go. So
Okay.
would you rather A, your man cheat and you never find out, okay? B, B, your man cheat once and he lets you know what happened, or C, your man cheat and you find the evidence on your own.
Oh, okay.
I know.
That's hard. But
I know.
I have always told men that I've ever dated, I don't ever want to be the fool in the room. I never want to be the fool in the room. So if you cheat, let me know. Have enough decency and respect for me as a human being and as your, as your friend, as your lover, as whatever, like have enough respect for me as a person to tell me so that I'm not the fool in the room. I never want to be the woman in the room where everyone knows that, you've cheated or who you cheated with, and I'm the one who doesn't know. So even though it's going to hurt, even though, I'm not going to guarantee that it will be well received, at least have the decency to tell me so that I can make that decision on my own and we can talk about it. Because, don't get me wrong, like stuff happens and I get that, but I would rather know. I don't want to, I get the whole ignorance is bliss thing, but rip the Band-Aid off for me. Tell me.
Yeah, right. I don't know, because I might kill somebody if I find out. I think I would rather A. If you cheat, cheat on me and I don't want to find out. I mean, I really don't.
Yeah.
Because I just, you know what I'm saying? But I hear what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like, and that, and I think that's one of the things that Kevin Samuels said. That's one of like a high value man's, one of his things that, don't embarrass me in public.
Right. Don't embarrass me in public. Do not make me look like a fool. Don't bring nothing home. You know what I mean? Like, and don't let it be a consistent thing. Like, if you have a moment where it was like, maybe we were going through something and this woman for some reason just tickled your fancy for that little thing and she scratched the itch.
Look at my
cool.
Hey, boo, Amira. That's my girl. Y'all go follow her channel. She blowing up. For real.
Hey.
She's like,
I love her hair. Her picture's so pretty.
Oh, girl. Visit her Instagram. Visit her page. She talks about, like, she does hair videos and stuff. She's lit.
Yes.
But she says, tell me before it gets there. No, I hear you, Amira. I hear you, girl.
Yeah.
So, But, okay, so let me ask you this, Nick. So, if your man is a billionaire, right? And he's taking care of you, billionaire status, okay? And he's taking care of you, but all he wants to do is be with other women. Would you feel differently?
See, for me, girl. Okay, all right. You too, world. I feel like everybody's about to like go in on me right now, but everybody's about to go in on me. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck? She's lying." But for real, like, I really appreciate it's deeper than money for me.
Yeah.
So. You know, like if you're cheating on me, like if you're providing for me, cool, but I can provide for me now. You know, so for me, that billionaire status, while luxurious, yes, it's gonna suck if we don't have a connection. It's gonna suck if like I know you're cheating on me and that, you know, here we are together on this luxurious yacht and you're texting and I don't know if you're texting for business or if you're texting another hoe. Like I don't want to live in that
Right.
life where
You
I'm
don't want
just
to live
not
like that.
sure.
Right, right. And you know what? That's all well and good if you have a man that's who's a billionaire who's taking care of you. But at the end of the day, like, you know, who wants to sit there and just be cheated on? Like, who wants to sit there and watch their man
Right.
just sleep with different women? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, yeah, it's not cute. And in the case of what's her name? Saweetie and
Mm-hmm.
what's his name? Sweetie
Oh, and Quavo.
and Quavo, you know, that was good that she walked away. I mean, she did accept it though,
Yeah.
because I heard that he cheated a couple of times, but
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
kind of the last straw for her. This last one.
Yeah.
So I mean, good for her. You know, kudos to her for leaving. You know what I mean?
I mean, you gotta. The reality is, women, when we love hard, and a lot of times we will
Yeah.
accept things because we love you and
Mhm.
because we expect you to change. So I know the very first time that he cheated on her, it was, oh baby, I'm not gonna do this, blah 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 blah. You know, like it was a one time thing, and then he does it again, and then you like, for real, nigga, like you
Yeah,
doing this
girl.
again, and then you know you
Yeah.
get to the point where it's like, where do I draw the line? Where does
And
my
see,
happiness come into
and
play?
that's true because you know what? Once your man cheats, then there's that trust level there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like you're always gonna
yes,
be creeping on in his phone. You're always gonna be trying to get in his DM. Like it's not gonna be a good
yeah,
living situation at that point.
yeah. Once you
You
lose
know?
the trust, that's it. Trust is a
Yes.
major factor. Once you lose that, it's kind of hard for to have that intimacy because it's like, dang, even if you think about it from a sexual perspective, right? So it's like, dang,
Mhm.
I want to make love to my man. I want to really like wow him. And while you're having sex, like you're gonna be in the back of your mind thinking, like, dang, did he is he like this with other women? Are other women like this with
Right.
him? You know, like I
Yes.
can't even at this point, I can't even enjoy sex with you
Mhm.
because I'm in my head too much. I don't want to have
Oh,
those
yeah.
problems.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, some women can do it though. Some women can do it,
Yeah,
Nick. Some women can just kind of tune it out. But yeah, I mean, like for me, yeah, I'm the kind of woman that will think about that kind of stuff. It's like, damn,
same.
you putting these same moves on this other women, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
Right.
don't know about that. I'm too territorial for that shit.
I
You know?
am, and it's even the small things like you know because both of us right we're businesswomen so we're constantly like you know doing our thing so it's
Yeah.
like okay do you get to a point where it's like okay normally if we were you know talking and something happens where you're busy I'll just assume it's business I'm not going to assume you're cheating but if you cheat now my first inclination is going to be oh he's with another chick I
Yep.
don't want those feelings. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
don't want to think that way. I don't want to feel like every little thing is you cheating. And you could legitimately not be cheating, but my
Mhm.
brain is going to go there because you've done it before. So I feel
Right.
for Sweetie. Like, I really do. I mean, I understand where she's coming from. I think a lot of women was like, oh my gosh, like, why did she stick around? But come on now. We all stick around. You know, all of us
Mhm.
have, every
All of
woman
us
out
have
there.
done something like that before. Right, right.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
definitely don't judge her for that. Diamond
Right,
Princess says,
right.
Amen, Janae. Y'all, that's not Janae. I don't know. Janae couldn't make it. She flaked on me, but that's okay. My girl Nicole came through for me. You guys
She's
remember
coming up on.
to,
She's coming up on. She's on LA time, boo. She's
girl,
on West
she,
Coast time.
honey, she a mess. Okay, but you guys, if you're just joining or tuning in, please like the video. Don't forget to like the video, share the video. But Nicole, so one of Derek Jackson's fans asked him a question, and they asked him, they were like, if a woman stays with a man after he done cheated, Does that mean that her self-esteem is like gone, or that
No.
she has low self-esteem? You don't think so?
No, no.
Okay.
I think I will say this. I think a lot of women in the Derrick Jackson situation right now are judging his wife because her appearance, she did come on in, this like bonnet. Like I mean, come on, your man was literally like dressed regular, and here you come looking like you just was doing like your chores around
Yeah,
the house. Like,
yeah.
come
But
on,
you know
man.
what? You know why I think they did that though, Nick? I think they did that for a reason. I think they just wanted to make it seem like, she was so like distraught and hurt, and she left and came back. I said, listen, they were trying to build that up, I think.
Well, it backfired because she looked crazy.
She
And
did look crazy.
and think about it because okay, as a woman, right? And maybe we just think differently, but I'm so sorry. If my man has cheated and I'm about to go on to national platforms to defend him, you best
Hmm.
believe I'm about to look fine
Yeah,
because I already
yeah.
know the chicks that he's dealing with. So
Hmm.
don't get me wrong, her holier than thou. This is my helmet of salvation, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But
Right,
sorry, sis, my helmet of salvation is going to be fly as fuck. And I'm going to look
right.
amazing. You're not going to catch me slipping. I mean, she became a meme and she became
Yeah,
the laughing joke of it all because of her doing that first. And then I think also her rebuttals. Like I think
yeah.
she tried too hard to kind of mask that scenario, and I just feel like it really just backfired on her. It's
Hmm.
okay. I don't think you lose self-esteem staying with your man because he made a mistake. At the end of the day, we're human. And women, there are women that cheat as well. There's women that
Hmm.
go out there and that sleep with other men and when they're in relationships. So don't get me wrong, people have moments of weakness.
Right,
However,
right,
it's the consistency for me. If you do it
right,
once, all right, shame on you. If you do it twice, shame on me. Isn't that what J.
right.
Cole said in his song? Like,
Yeah, girl.
hey.
Right. That's true. That's true. But
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna lie, Nicole, I have to side eye some of these marriages, where the couples they've been together for like 50 years, 30 years. Because you gotta you like, nobody cheated in the marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. At no point did this
At no
happen.
point, nobody cheated.
Yeah. I mean,
I
again,
mean,
what is
yeah,
your
go ahead.
definition of cheating? So someone asked me that. It was so funny. This guy that
Oh.
is trying to court me,
Uh-huh.
he asked me what is my definition of cheating.
Oh.
And I was kind of taken aback because I was like, oh, that's a good question. It was asked me. And my response to him was, it's very, very simple. My definition of cheating is anything that you don't want me to do to the other person. So if
Okay.
you're okay with kissing on another woman, you better be okay with me kissing on another man.
Okay,
If
now
you're
okay, so if you're in a relationship and somebody slide in your DM and you're kind of flirting with him, is that cheating?
to me,
Okay.
yes, because in that scenario, would I want my man to slide into another woman's DM and talk to her? Like I always
Right.
have to flip it to what would I be okay with. I would not
Right.
be okay to find out that my man was talking like sliding in other women's DMs. No,
Thanks.
nope. So
Thanks.
yeah, I wouldn't appreciate that. So for me, I always look at it like, what is it that I would accept or not accept from my spouse doing to someone else? And yeah, so I would, there's certain things that I would consider cheating. Now, do I think you need to have that conversation? You need to set expectations up front? Yes. But,
Absolutely.
I do think that you have to consider. I think sometimes men forget that. They be like, oh yeah, like y'all out here and you in strip clubs and throwing money and women just bouncing their booties in your face. Cool, cool, cool. But just be
Right. But
okay.
don't take action on nothing.
Don't take action on nothing,
Right.
okay? Because the
Right.
moment that you do, the moment that it becomes a step in the other direction, you have to
Hmm.
think in that moment, if my girl was doing this, and don't put it in apples to apples because you can't, like that's why I
Right.
had to switch that scenario, right? A
Hmm.
man sliding in my DMs and me flirting with him is not the equivalent of a woman sliding in my man's DMs and he flirting with her because
Oh,
the
yeah.
likelihood of that happening is a little slimmer than him sliding in someone else's DM. So
I don't know. I don't know, Nick. I think if the man is a high value man, you know those women are going to be in the DM though.
That's true. That's true.
They're going to be in there, girl.
But if you're a beautiful woman, men are going to be in your DMs.
True.
I mean, think about it, Brandy. How many men are in your DMs? Let's be real. Talk about it.
That's true. That's true.
I'm saying. So it's vice versa. It's just different qualities. Yeah, he's got money and you've got looks. There's people that are going to both want you. So at the end of the day, it comes down to what are you going to accept? So for me, it's like, don't do something or have something done to you that you wouldn't want replicated from me.
Facts. Facts. Now I feel that. But like, okay, so when people say, you know, men and women cheat for different reasons. And for me, I do believe that. Does that excuse a man cheating? No, it doesn't. But I do think that men and women cheat for different reasons, right? So if a woman is cheating, a woman is going to cheat because there's something missing. Like there's legit something missing from the relationship or the marriage. If the man cheats, he is cheating because he can, or because maybe he's not getting sex from his wife or girlfriend, or he's cheating just, you know, just like I said, because he can. I mean, do you think that's the case?
I do. My bad.
There you go.
So you know how we had the conversation before about ambitious men, and you know, I had a high value man express to me, very in a very real way. So he's a friend of mine, and we were having a discussion. And he said, you know, women oftentimes want an ambitious man, and they want him to be ambitious in one aspect of his life, just the financials. But the reality is, if he's ambitious, that's a mindset. Why shouldn't he be ambitious in other aspects of his life? Why do women want him to not be ambitious when it comes to his relationships? And I was like, wow, you know, and the way he broke it down, it really opened my mind to be like, wow, that's crazy. And it's funny because I had another friend who is also, you know, another high value man, lots of money, very successful in his field. And he was like, man, I really think, you know, I might have to go towards a more poly relationship. I don't know if being monogamous is for me. And I was like, what? You know? And he was breaking it down to me. He was like, you know, like, I don't feel like that's necessarily the route that I want to go in. I may want multiple women to satisfy different needs for me. I just have this yearning for it. I can't explain it. And I told him, I said, hey, there's a community of women that are for that. So hey, go for it. You know, just know that you have to be upfront with people.
You do. And you have to let people know that you're interested in that poly lifestyle.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's a confusing ass lifestyle. You know, I would not want that.
You know I can't, so
I couldn't do that. No. Because I mean, like, what about diseases? If everybody's not being truthful about who they slept with and about like using protection, it's like, ew. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And that's the thing, right? It's so many different pieces to the puzzle. There's diseases, there's other babies, there's, you know, the emotional attachment of it. I mean, us as women, when we have sex, a lot of women, I won't say every woman because we're not all the same. There are some women that can detach their emotions from sex, but a lot of us do associate our emotions with the sexual interaction that we're having with a man. And so when they cheat, it's a feeling of betrayal because it's like, I'm giving you my all. I am a completely vulnerable and opening myself up. And you did this exact thing with some other chick. That doesn't even register in our brains, you know, like it doesn't make sense. But for them, they were like, hey man, I mean, it was just a pussy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're really, yeah. You know, men and women, we think differently. I mean, we just do. That's a fact. Danielle says all men cheat given the right opportunity. I don't know why so many women are delusional about this.
That's, you know what, Danielle, I definitely think about it. It honestly is like a perfect storm. I think if a man is happy and content, you know, like the likelihood of it is a little less for a man that's not looking for a poly relationship, right? That's not open to it. He's a genuine man that's like, and I won't even say I'm not dissing any man that want poly. It's just if he's a man that wants a monogamous relationship and values that, then if he's happy, he's okay. But the problem is sometimes, you know, it's a perfect storm. You meet you have a man who, for some reason, right, the woman in his life is not providing him with his sexual needs,
Mm-hmm.
or peace. Let's be real, because sometimes it's not even just the sex; it's a sense of peace that men are striving and seeking. And
Mm-hmm.
so he meets a woman that provides him with that temporary relief, and he
Mm,
goes and he takes that, not even
that's true.
thinking. Because in our heads, we're like, oh my gosh, like, how you didn't think about me at all when you decided to stick your dick in this other woman?
Hell
Like, it didn't
no.
even
No.
cross your mind. And it wasn't. It doesn't cross their mind. It does not cross their
Yeah,
mind.
girl.
It's
But you know what?
crazy.
Like, I've heard men say that, like, especially people who've been married for a very long time, they say
Mhm.
that the man cheating, it makes their relationship better.
Yeah.
Girl,
Girl.
that's a whole nother topic. But I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I could see that. Like, if a couple has been together since their teenage years and now they're in their 40s and 50s, like, I don't know. I don't
I
know,
mean,
Nicole. See, that's
it's
why I
something to
promote, that's why
consider.
I think getting married like later in life, I promote that because
Mhm.
I mean, I think when you're in your late 30s, you know yourself a little bit better. Hopefully you done got that player mentality out of your mind.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So
Yeah,
I definitely promote that because it's just a risk getting married so young.
that's true. That's true. When you get married young, you do hear some stories where it's successful. But to your point, did any infidelity ever happen? It's really hard to say. But I do think that, when you get married a little bit later in your life, when a man has kind of decided for himself that, okay, this is what I want. I want one woman and I want this woman through thick and thin. Cool. I think the
Mm-hmm.
piece that people forget when they're in a relationship with people is the reality. The reality is that hormones happen. So men, for any men that's listening out here, I don't have any kids, but I have friends that have kids, and they have all gone through transitions with their bodies when they had kids. Some of them, their sexual desires increased, and for others it decreased significantly, and their spouse had to deal with that. You know what I mean? Because it's the hormonal balance that changed from having a child, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
natural part of life. So I think
Oh
that sometimes people
yeah.
don't think about the fact that there's just life that happens. There's something, maybe, she could be stressed out at work, he could be stressed out at work. Let's not even make it just on the men
Yeah.
thing. Like, things
Yeah.
happen in the journey of life. When you decide to have a partner in that journey, you have to
Mm-hmm.
accept all the things that come with that. And the strength in that is that you're going to stick with it, even when it gets tough, even when you have patches
Mm-hmm.
where, things might be a little tough, and you choose not to bring someone else in to be a temporary fix while you're going through that,
And you
because
know what? That's true, Nick. I'm sorry to cut you off, but to your point, when you say, marriage, kids changes things. Once you have
yeah,
kids, your hormones change, your body changes for the woman, and so now, the man wants to go out and get satisfied somewhere else because maybe the woman's too tired, she's taking care of the kids all day. So
yeah,
that it's a real thing. It sucks, but it's a
yeah,
real thing. Hey,
yeah.
BMT.
Hey,
Hey,
BMT.
hey, Brandy. How you doing,
Hey,
ladies?
boo. Hey, boo boo. How
Y'all,
are you?
listen, y'all better pray y'all not in the South. If I swear, I'm gonna spoil the fuck out of y'all city, baby.
I
I
can't
swear.
with you. BMT, you can't come on here cussing now. I'm monetized.
You know what? You know what? I do apologize. Let me cash app you for that. Let me cash app you for that. You gotta, you gotta take care of a lady. You gotta take care of a lady.
Right. Okay, so BMT, what do you think about all this? Have you been around for the entire conversation?
I haven't been around for everything, so catch me up to
Okay.
speed a little bit.
So we are talking. Do you know Megan James? She came out and said that she doesn't mind her man cheating as long as she doesn't find out, as long as there's no outside babies, as long as the side woman doesn't fall in love, and as long as no STDs are involved. So what do you say to that? Hello, hello. Did we lose me?
Okay, so what
Okay,
I
there
would
you
say
go.
to that. Okay, so what I would say to that is I understand I understand the nature of the beast of why she said that,
Yeah.
and I get it. I don't agree fully with it because somewhere down the line, these things always go awry. You understand what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
when you like, there's going to be something of some type of tendency in there. Like somebody's going to move above their position. It only takes one slip up,
Mm-hmm.
or one picture in the tabloids. You feel me? And then,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
well, you, you know what I'm saying? She's at home with a baby, and then all of a sudden, why he caked up with that woman at a plaza or at a gala or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Now she has to deal with that with her
Right.
friends.
Right.
So she's gonna be like, "Damn, you forgot the rules," or something like that. So I get why she's saying that because she's like,
And you know
"Listen, I
what?
get
I
it."
get it too because you know what? She's a she's a celebrity, D-list celebrity, but she deals with those kind of men too. She deals with a
Right,
different caliber of man. So she's probably dealt with that on occasion. So I
right,
mean, I get it also, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like when you open up your relationship to that kind of energy, that's exactly what you're gonna get though.
right.
You know what I'm
Um,
saying? And it's not impossible. I don't think it's impossible for a man to not cheat.
it's not impossible,
I
but
know it's hard as
it's
hell
when
for
you.
y'all. I know it's hard, you know?
Here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. Can he keep that same energy if she were to have a pool boy or
Mm-hmm.
other guy on the side? See,
Mm,
because same way
right.
I see, but understand, there's nothing worse than a woman's scorn, and
Yeah.
it's pride. Like,
Please.
mhm.
Right, Nick.
I'm just saying. Listen, I've been that guy that trust and believe. Oh, you want to play that game too? Let me put on my cute, pumps and
Mm-hmm.
let me go sit on so and so's lap at the same party across the
Mm.
club from me. And I'm not gonna lie, I try to pretend like I didn't see it, and I was sitting there, you know, texting right back. So
Mm.
you want to play these games? It gets messy.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful, especially when y'all in a marriage. Like if you
Right.
feel that you already have to make those rules in the beginning of your marriage, then that means I would say men and women don't get married. Don't do it
Right. Don't do it.
because
Yeah.
yes, don't do it. It's better for you to say, let me get this out of my system
Right.
until I
Right.
feel like I'm ready to like simmer down. Because the minute I see Brandy over there, she might be taking a picture in the shoot with this guy. But I'll
Right.
be like, yo, like that kid looks pretty real to me. Oh, who's this? That's just my work partner or my work. No,
Mm-hmm.
You need to go get a B lister or a C lister. Don't be no. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's a messy game that we play.
It
So
is.
she's literally, I feel like she's going in to hurt herself because that means you're not putting value in yourself as a person
Mm-hmm.
saying that, hey,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to cheat on me because, you know what I'm saying, just so long as I don't know about it. So
Yeah.
in other words, you're not holding no type of standard on your relationship.
Right. And I mean,
Can I
if you're
ask a
not,
question to the
yeah, go ahead,
gentleman?
boo. Go ahead.
I'm curious. So, if a woman, like, if you have this conversation explicitly with a woman, and she tells you, "Hey, I'm cool with you cheating, just don't let me find out," does that change your perception of her? Does that encourage you to cheat, or what do you feel about that?
Oh, okay, but I've been in a poly relationship, so
Oh.
Oh.
that's for another talk, Randy. When you want to have the conversation,
Ooh.
I will let
I'm like, wait,
y'all
hold on
do
now.
the whole conversation. I've been in polygamy and I've been in a polyandry thing where I knew I was a side man. So
Mm,
Oh.
understand when I worry when a woman says that to me.
mm-hmm.
That sure, because I'm like, what happened to get you women are territorial when it
Yes.
comes to
Yes.
their stuff, their man, certain things in their life. So the fact that you're saying, hey, I'm fine, so long as I don't know, that means like I'm feeling like, yo, are you testing me? Like, are you trying me? Like, what's going on? I'm feeling like, okay, if you're telling me I don't have to go 100% for you, then what does that say? Are you going to go 100% for me, or are you giving me? That means I'm trying to figure out what energy you giving me back. Because if you're telling me you're giving me permission, then I wonder what card are you playing with? I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I know she got somebody. I know she got a work husband. I
Yeah,
know there's
man.
something going on.
Yeah, and we were just talking about how men and women cheat for different reasons. So if your woman is like talking like that to you, then you know what's up.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you I've always wondered this question because I've had several conversations with men where they want to have the ability to be with other women, but they don't want their woman to be with other men. So some of the poly relationships, because I've men asked me if I was interested in that. And out of curiosity, not that I would do it, but I was curious. I was like, tell me what this would look like, right? Like, what's the day to day? And they honestly, majority of them really couldn't. I say majority, it was only two, but they couldn't really describe it. But when they did describe it to me, it was more so like, yeah, I'm gonna have like multiple wives. And I was like, so can I have a boyfriend? Can I
Yeah,
have a
they're not.
husband?
No, they're not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they don't want
And
to. They don't want to
they
hear
was like,
that.
nah, right. And I'm like, well, what? So you saying you get to have sex all the time, and then when you're gone, I'm stuck? Like, I don't understand. So I'm curious
yeah.
to know, like, what are the rules there?
The rules, okay, and like I said, that's why I always am curious when I hear people talk about the poly lifestyle, because they always beat it into sex rather than actually, we actually congregating, stuff. First of all, for every wife or mate I have to input more as a man to them. Like, I can't say, well, I'm giving Brandy a one thing, but then if I go co-sign for Brandy to get a vehicle, best believe if you show up and say, yo, so Brandy got a car, what's good? Okay, let's
Right.
get our jacket, let's go on down to the dealership. Because I know it has to balance out. It has to
Mm-hmm.
balance out.
Mhm.
But see, and that's the thing about it, like, it has to be something where all agencies are building each other up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
that's the main committed thing. Like, it's not like I spent sometimes busy going from house A to house B. And then soon enough, I'm like, okay, let's not do house A, house B. Let's just go get a 5-bedroom house. That way we all have our own bedrooms. We all have our own bedrooms. The
Mhm.
kids have their bedrooms, and we all were in the same house. So literally, it was actually a lot more affordable. Then I could just either one of us could get the kids, and we were fine with that. And actually, literally the sex thing. Listen, I was too tired. Like, don't get me wrong, okay, but
And see,
literally,
that's another thing. Okay, if you're gonna be in that
Right.
kind of
listen,
relationship,
like, people overconflate that. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing it. No, you're not. Trust and believe. You're gonna be too busy. One of them was actually a full-time stylist in the metropolitan of Atlanta. So she was a
mm,
full-time
Mhm.
stylist, and the other one was she was transitioning out of the military, and she was working at the hospital. And for me,
Mhm.
I was already retired and I was running my own business. So pretty much, you always want to find people that can match you with income, spiritually and
Mhm.
mentally, and actually have the same vibe of energy. So sometimes it'll be like, well, okay, you can't go to the club, but we're going to tell you to sit at home and watch the kids. No, then let's all just stay at home. You know what I'm saying? Let's hire a sitter and let's have a little house party where we all could just invite our friends over or do something as a family. Like, it's more so of conglomerating stuff. Like me, I didn't mind being at home, letting the girls go out, or sometimes one of us, like two of we would go on a dinner date, and we would hire or have one of our friends go with us so that way it could be a double or stuff like that. And then we have it with school functions and different other things. But it was not. It was pretty good. We actually generated quite a bit of income. I think we were pooling in close to 200,000 200,000. So we were doing pretty good.
Okay.
Everybody was hitting their goals and this stuff. We had marked, huh?
No, go ahead.
What'd you say?
No, go
No,
ahead.
I'm just saying. But when you're talking about that type of level of building, like
Mhm.
if one of y'all were to say, "I have a dream, I want to do that," and I'm like, you will talk with the rest of us, the other mates, and we will say, "Okay, let's see if it's beatable." You know what I'm saying? It's not something well, as the women, y'all build the man and I rule over it. Like, no, because y'all have dreams and goals too. Like, I remember one of them, she wanted to try out for a Tyler Perry movie. So what we did was say, we'll take the kids, make sure you're up and ready, car will be full of gas, you and your friends go out there and y'all try out. She got to be an extra in the Tyler Perry movie. And she's trying to go do more movies. See, that's us helping each other meet our goals. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, it sounds like
then at
BMT.
the
It sounds like this was the perfect scenario. So what happened? Why did you get out of your
Yeah.
poly situation? Did it get too tiring for
um
you? You couldn't keep up.
no, actually, it's not. No,
I'm
it's
just
not.
playing.
No, it wasn't that it was tiring. It wasn't that it was tiring. It was just that certain things, certain elements had came in to the relationship,
Okay.
and the family always comes over the individual. And I think
Mm.
one of the girls had got onto substance abuse, and
Oh.
it wasn't safe for the children. So we dissolved the relationship. We still do stay in contact. Those are still my babies.
Mm.
But I think they sometimes still conglomerate or shack up. That's them. I have gone
Mhm.
down there with the children. But yeah. Um,
Wait.
Other than that,
Are these your kids?
no, they weren't my kids.
Oh.
See, that's the thing about it, that everybody thinks that, oh, I'm supposed to go find some fresh women and just lay down with them. And no, I did not. See, when you talk about poly, you're talking about building a family, a village, and actually you're talking about building. So literally, money was good. Like, money was good. Like, seriously, like the
Well,
bank
yeah, you
accounts look
split it
nice.
three ways. So yeah. Three
So
incomes,
I I
three.
I I
Yeah.
mean, right. So listen, like, I was serious. Like, I think one of them, we got her a new Malibu. She got her new Malibu, and I think the other one, she was driving a new Jeep, a new Ford Explorer. You know what I'm saying? I had my sports car. I had my little sports car, so I was good. So we all were doing fine. Of course, I had to go get a bigger. I think the biggest vehicle we had was a third row Explorer for the kids, but I wasn't gonna drive. Listen, I would be caught dead before I ever drive a van. But see, that was something that we all entered in agreement. Now, one thing about it was, one, like, I knew one of them, she was bisexual, and that was a hurdle for the other one to be intertwined or with another woman. So there's compromises to that. There are compromises. So to compromise that, because she had her sexuality, we sought out a partner who was a dyke. And so
Oh.
she had her dyke friend, which we all sat down, talked with, had dinner with, you know what I'm saying? But she also agreed that, hey, I won't bring her around the house as much. I probably go to a hotel, which they went to a nice safe place.
Hmm.
And you,
Wow.
so what if she told you that she wanted to have another guy? Like, would you have been okay with that if it was a guy versus another woman?
We have to sit down as a family about that. We would have to sit down and
It's
actually.
like we gotta have a meeting about this.
Well, we had a
Well,
meeting
sit
about
down
we
with
had a
us,
meeting
your
about the
internet
dyke.
family.
We
Hello there. We
we
have a
had
new
we had we had
guest.
hello.
Yeah, we do. Go ahead,
We had
BMT.
a
I know
meeting with the
we used to
dyke,
talk.
and there's nothing wrong with that. So I didn't have a problem. I mean, if the family, if it's a two out of three ratio agreement, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If not, then hey, we're just gonna take you to guilty pleasure and just go buy you a toy. You got to just get over it. Like,
Oh.
hey, you got to get over that.
Okay,
You know what
Shot.
I'm
What do
saying?
you think? What you got to say?
I missed the start of this because I was chopping up some chicken. So what was the?
Okay, chopping up the chicken. No,
I missed off the last.
we're talking about the poly lifestyle. BMT was explaining that lifestyle to us that he's been in, but
Yeah.
the initial topic was cheating respectfully, right? So
Like open stuff.
huh?
Yeah, like if you have the ego for it,
Mm,
threesomes like MFM, FFM, whatever, it's fun, right? If you get over the ego of, oh, my girl's having sex with another guy, I mean, it's real hot.
But see now, but you can, I agree with you. It can be hot, but only if you set those rules and only if everybody follows the rules. Okay.
Right.
Because if you
Of
okay,
course.
so if like in the case of T.I. and Tiny, they're going through whatever they're going through. But initially Tiny agreed to start having threesomes with her man, right? But then he started going out and cheating on her, and I'm sure the agreement was for them to do it together, right? But he started going out and doing it on his own.
There's never any excuse for cheating, right? If you're going outside the bounds of the contract, you're always wrong, period, no matter what. Whether the contract says pure monogamy, whether the contract says you can only have fun with another person when I'm there or whatever. You go outside of bounds, you're out of bounds, period.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because if you're, setting up your terms and conditions, right? And somebody steps out of that, then y'all done fucked up. But the thing is, it's like if you open Pandora's box, okay, if you're bringing that type of energy into your marriage and your relationship, that's what you're going to get, though.
Right. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think if you're the kind of person that thinks that way, you have to, like, freaks have to meet freaks and be together. Like when I hear these panels, when you try to, like, I see a lot of these guys, they want to find a young woman who's naive and who's not fully formed yet because they want to mold her into like a sex toy, 5 years down the road, which I disapprove of. And that's a big part of why a lot of men are afraid to date older women, because they're scared that she's had better lovers that have bigger equipment and so on. Like,
and
that
she's
is
more, she's educated. She's more mature. Yeah.
Especially black guys. Like, let me tell you, black guys are so insecure that the BBC myth isn't true, that really powers a lot, and it powers a lot of what they do insecurity wise.
Oh,
Shut. Wait, can you tell me? I don't know. What is BBC?
We can't say. I'll tell you what it is later, girl.
Oh,
yes. Okay. You got it. Okay. Did you get it?
These ears together.
No, but that's a good point. I could see that because, and I talk, I promote interracial dating, right? And so, typically, yes, black men are going to have, they're going to have to be well endowed. Okay. But there's also men of other races who are like that as well. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's a good point that you say that, because they can't use that at that point.
All of my exes have said that it's the Hispanic Latin lover stereotype that's been the best.
Ooh,
and that's been from black girls, white girls.
No, that is true.
All my exes have said that.
That's true. Latinos, yeah. Mexican men, for sure. Yeah.
Really? I've never heard that.
Oh yeah.
That's what I heard. Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, one just told me recently because of some news story. I forget what spiked the conversation, but she said specifically that she was saying that the white girls who date a lot of black guys, if they only knew how good Hispanic men were, was kind of the reply she had to the news story.
Oh, interesting. All right. Giving them one for their money.
But you didn't let me say my real reason for jumping on the panel.
Well, okay, say your real reason then.
Yeah. So you, Miss Brandy, and Miss Janae are my two favorite YouTubers now.
You are so sweet. Okay, but look, that's not Janae. That's Nicole. Janae couldn't make it today.
Oh, my fault. Oh, even better. So tell us about who. Oh, well, if Janae hears this, which she will, she will.
Yeah, and I'll let her know.
So how does Miss Nicole fit into the picture? Like, what's she bringing to the party?
Nicole is one of my besties, and Nicole is an entrepreneur. She's a businesswoman. She's been on a couple of my shows, but she actually has a wine line. She has a wine line name called Unwind. So she's doing the dang thing.
What kind of wine is it, Miss Nicole?
So it's
got you on the spot, girl. You gotta be ready.
No, I'm just playing. So we have semi-sweet wine. So we have a peach Moscato, a semi-sweet red, some Merlot blend, and I have a mango wine that's about to launch.
And she just went international. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Miss Nicole, what is your cultural background, if I may ask?
So I'm American, if that's what you mean.
Well, American meaning like say
like I had like a cool, like Caribbean background, but I'm from here.
No, what I meant is that say I'm an American Black from New York City, so that's my type of native food versus say Southern cooking versus like Tex-Mex or whatever. And the reason why I ask because I don't hear a lot of Blacks or people in this kind of urban culture talking about how to pair up wines with soul food or Black food. I think there's a gap there.
You might be onto something, Shot. Listen, I like that.
But all of my girls are bomb Shot. Okay, we are all sexy. We're all.
Oh, you have raised the bar, Miss. You have raised the bar, no doubt about it.
And guess what? And you know what? We because a lot of Black men or men like to say that Black women don't like to date smart men, right? Or don't like to date nerdy men. That's not true because we are all into those types of men, right, Nicole?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was just telling someone today, teach me something. I love a nerdy man. Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's strange because my dad only gave me one piece of advice. It is. My father gave me only one piece of advice my entire life. He said, always date women smarter than you. Oh. And so that's one of my only 2 criteria when I'm dating.
Okay. And you know what? People try to say that, or men try to say that, oh, the woman forgot the man's role. I'm the first one to promote, men are important. We need men. Okay. That is a fact. We need men. So you will never hear that come out of my mouth that we don't need men. I think men have their role. Men are smart. We need men. Men are protectors, but women are also smart as well. Women,
I'm back.
Huh?
No, I'm back.
You back? I didn't even know you were gone. You left us.
I went into the place in the order and everything.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right. But I was saying men and women, they have important roles. Okay. So I think that's important to stress,
Yeah. I agree with you. You will never hear that from me either. I will never say that I don't need a man because men play a very pivotal role in relationship in general. So I think sometimes women say that because they're hurt, but the reality is they still want and desire and need a man to provide a certain aspect of that life. So I disagree with that. Yeah.
But I think, you know what, too, guys, I think that in this Kevin Samuels era that we're living in today, I think that women are not, there's a lot of pressure on women nowadays, to be good wives. I don't think there's enough pressure on men to be good husbands, though.
Oh, so
absolutely.
So an aspect to that, and let me just, I'm a rubber band it back. Like, there's always been a pressure, like for both sides. There's always been a pressure. As far as it goes, when a woman says, "I don't need a man," I think people are taking it as, "Oh, so you're saying you don't want to get married on it." No, dummy. That's just saying that I can be successful without needing a penis. Like back then, a woman before in the suffrage movement, a woman had to doggone needed a man for the come up. Like you didn't have the same affiliated right. You couldn't do the same thing. You couldn't get the same type of pay, or you couldn't be taken serious in certain boardrooms or certain offices. Now you're like, I don't need a man. I don't have to lay on my back. I don't have to do certain stuff. I can get the come up and be just as successful in any and everything I do. Like you can be that. You don't have to always wear a dress. You can be that same boss in heels or in flats. And you know what I'm saying? It's not just based off of just your beauty. As everybody says, it's based on beauty. It's based off of what you know or the people that you affiliate in circles you move in. So, but also in the same aspect, and like I said, I know Kevin. Like, and the thing about it is, and I'm moving. Aside from that, there's always been a stigma on the traditional woman, the traditional man. Them days have long since been dead. Ain't no men building no cabins or appliances or or like fighting bears and stuff. But
Right.
the women ain't trying to do the cheating big at home. They're like, listen, I'm out here doing the 9 to 5, busting my behind, cashing in, working in the office just like you. So stop with the nonsense. You can be at home too, just like me. You can wash the dishes and cook dinner. And so people are talking about, well, you need to go back to your place when, you know, they're listen, people are finding where they can fit in at where it works. You know what I'm saying? So it might work. So you might want that type of guy who has a certain type of criteria, right? But you might not find them in the Black community. Just being honest.
Right.
So in a lot, but you might, and it might be, I might want that type of woman, but according to social media stigmas, she's not that. She doesn't have that certain type of ebony Coke bottle shaped look, but she meets the criteria of what I need for me in my life. And
so what is more important to men? Because there seems to be some sort of confusion there. We all know that men are visual, right?
Yeah, beauty is probably what accounts for half the attraction initially. And then I think afterwards you see a lot of you see segregation. Like for myself, my dad was a tailor, blue collar guy, but he also had a decent talent for math, and he was a handicapper, kind of a gambler. My mom worked on Wall Street. So that was the model for my home life. My mom was a very smart Wall Streeter. She'd come home, and my dad was a very macho guy physically, but he was very accommodating to her intellectually and mentally. So he never tried to like say, hey, you know, he never did that thing I hear so many people in the manosphere say where, you know, she has to be behind him and all, never that. And he had a very self-deprecating type of humor, and that gave her space to be her. And that was always my model, that, okay, to be the husband of a modern career woman takes a different kind of man. You have to be very secure and not get so threatened by her success that it makes you become a dick. I'm sorry, I don't want to say that.
It's okay.
Because I'm going to ask BMT, I think, BMT, do you think that, especially Black men, do you think they're being taught or it's even brought up that how to be the partner for a modern career woman?
Do I think they're being how to be a partner for the modern career woman?
No,
it's not really a taught thing. Like, who's teaching it to them? Is it their moms teaching it to them, or who's teaching it to them? Most Black homes are single parent households, so it's not really a taught thing. You would have to see the imagery put before you of a career guided woman versus that. And I mean, we're just now breaking into the era of seeing women in careers. Like, I'm sorry, like women are just now starting to break into careers. That's a fact. Like, we're literally now starting to see that where women are starting to actually take on whole career job. Like before then, they normally worked a 9 to 5 or work 2 jobs.
And yeah, because you know why that is, BMT. I mean, you know, because women are no longer accepting the cheating and the abuse.
Correct. So that's the thing about it. So to say that they're being taught, how can you be taught something that was not really a model in our, you know, right? Yeah. So the thing about it is, so now we see where the woman saying, "Well, I don't need a man because guess what? I'm doing it on my own." So I mean, granted, I mean, some people might have been blessed, such as yourself, to have that. Like my mom owns 10% of a town. She owns 9 buildings. She owns her own trucking thing. Like my dad does his own thing too. You know what I'm saying? But again, I never see my mom like probably wear a dress unless it was Sunday. My dad was a hardworking Vietnam drinking type of man. So I mean, I grew up different. Like out of all of them, I'm the only poly type of open type of guy that I'm definitely a unicorn in my batch. But again, people, it's like you got to get in where you can fit in, like, you know what I'm saying, and actually work that into your into that. Like some people will say the way how the women on this panel think, they're not submissive, or the way how they talk to men, they should yield. But then again, they're like, it's not that I'm not submissive. I don't submit to just any old man. I submit to a man. So,
like, I'm glad you said that, because I think the submission issue has been completely misaligned, right? If you have a vivacious, career-minded, ambitious woman, and let's say she has some specific business talent, like she's outgoing enough and a good networker, the new man has to figure out how to lead that kind of person, not to transform her into a maid or a chef, right? So say if you were on a normal military officer track or a corporate officer track, you learn how to lead people who are smart and ambitious. You don't learn how to turn them into automatons, right? I don't understand. For example, I would take say somebody who was like, take your friend, right? The missing co-host. I would love to see her take that.
Missing co-host.
Yeah. I know her more than you, Mr. Cole. So
don't call for my friend.
I got no, it's not an insult. I would love to see her take like formal negotiation classes because she has the personality that would be excellent in corporate negotiations.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So let's say, okay, if her role is the networker and the negotiator, the man, if he wants to be the leader, has to be the strategist and figure out where to aim her, right? If she's the gun, where do you point her and send her in to get those deals done? That's how you kind of lead a modern person. You don't transform them into a chef because, like, why would you take a woman that has education and is smart and waste all that talent in the kitchen and the laundry room?
Right. But you know what? I think, Shot, you make a really good point. We're in this new era right now, right? And I think that's why we're having so much more conversations around relationships because to you guys' point, we're just now getting to a point where women are starting to find that independence and we're trying to find that balance of I don't need a man, I want a man. You know, maybe I'm not financially reliant on a man, but I need you still for other aspects. And so to your point, you know, there is something to be said for a man who can identify the talents of his woman and be able to guide her into a certain direction versus trying to fit her into a box that she doesn't necessarily fit into. And I think sometimes, you know, that there's one piece of it, but the other piece of it is understanding that the role of a man in relationships now is changing as well. Like, are you okay with taking on some of the roles and responsibilities that were quote unquote dubbed as the female responsibility or more of a feminine role? Are you cool with like, hey, I have to wash the dishes tonight because my woman is handling a business board meeting tonight and she's not going to be able to do it. I have to cook, I have to clean, whatever. So understanding that there may be times where you may have to take on that role, even though you are still doing your thing and you're still, you know, handling your business and doing your thing. That hasn't changed. You're still the CEO, you're still, you know, handling your business. But are you okay with understanding that, you know, those traditional feminine roles may have to fall on your plate at sometimes, depending on what your lady has going on? Are y'all cool with that?
Yeah, that's, in fact, it's the other way around. That's an opportunity to be loving, right? So when she gets home, everything is all nice and sweet and you've got her favorite food out. That's an opportunity.
Okay, Shot.
Okay.
Yes.
I dig it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I cannot understand the way these guys talk. Like, I don't know, but most of my male friends are just like me. None of us talk this way about submission and, I don't know any men who are like outright chauvinists. Right?
Well,
you might have some.
I'm not even gonna say what I think about that because you know I've had my run in with this manosphere stuff. You know, I'd rather not speak about it. But
oh yeah, they exist.
Oh yeah, okay. But why do you? Okay, so let me ask y'all this: Why do you think men are kind of like falling behind and not as motivated as women?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked that. So, all right, so from what I'm seeing is it depends on a lot men. The way how it's going right now, men are feeling like, well, dang, I don't have the same old guard power I did before. Because understand this, at one time, you were the lesser of the halves. You were not at the top. Now it's whereas to, well, I have a voice. Now the women have a voice. Now different groups, now different people of different communities are having voice. So swinging a penis or saying, well, my mama back in the day used to fry that chicken and not sass back to daddy. That day is done. So now it's like, trying to say, well, because I'm strong in your strength doesn't mean that you're going to be the leader. Just because you have a penis don't mean you're going to be the leader. We're not in that type of society anymore. And so you hear it when you hear a lot of men refer back to the olden day, right?
Yeah.
Where women are like, back in the day, Randy, you and the other sister, y'all used to be submissive women. Well, hold up, bro. I can be submissive, but you're not that man, or you don't have that energy to submit to. See,
Right. Right.
So
exactly.
You don't just submit. You don't, like my mama told my sister and her nieces, listen, I've did the marching so that way y'all women don't have to suffer like we did. So y'all can literally stand on your own 2 feet. Not to say that women don't still have miles to go, but however, now the men have to acknowledge that, like, the women are fighting back. Like, they're now able to go to court and start saying, like, I want the same access of things like you. I don't need you. I love you. I don't mind walking with you, but at the end of the day, you don't control me. You don't have to lead me. You can partner up with me. See, that's the thing about it. Like my sister said to her ex, listen, I make more money than you. I'm your partner. I'm not your slave. So don't be trying to say because I push out a baby that I'm weaker than you. No.
Right. Right.
That we have to understand in this talk now that other dynamic. Like I said, I've been in successful relationships and I've been running my life pretty well. I have my hiccups, I have my failures, but I also understand that the dynamic of men and women are changing. I don't mind phone calls.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick, and then I'm gonna let Diamond Princess jump in. Hey, girl. Hey.
What's up, Diamond?
But I have a question.
Hi.
So, do you think that these online conversations, like Kevin Samuels, like some of these men who talk about single mothers and all this kind of crap, do you think that they are setting these men up for failure in real life?
Yes, because
that's a big part of it.
Yes, but honestly, most men that I know do not mind getting with a woman with a child. They never stop them. If anything, women with kids get hit on more than anything because they know that they're out there, they have sex. So, I mean, honestly, the convoluted world, if a woman has a child, her value goes down is crap. Like that's a lie. I see these women working in hospitals and doing things or getting jobs and stacking up and living their life just fine. So we have to stop this narrative. Like Kevin, make your money, bro.
Right, he's making his money. Yeah, but at the same time, there's so many impressionable people watching him, and it's so sad.
But see, but that's the thing about it. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. But
a lot of people don't look at it as that, though. That's
the same people that were looking at Derrick Jackson, though. I mean, there are people that are going to be out there. So for those women, they cater to a specific type of woman, because we've talked about that. There's a certain specific type of caliber of women that are going to go on those shows to be rated, that are going to listen to Derrick Jackson to get relationship advice. You have to kind of think about their audience too.
What woman would honestly get on a show and a man asks you, do you see yourself as a what's your number? All y'all girls gonna jump up on that damn stage and say, I'm a 10. No, you're not a 10. Then why would you sit there? Fine, if I'm not a 10 to you, trust me, there's gonna be some man that gonna call me a 10 in that club tonight. So like I said, like some stuff you gotta understand it's a make-believe sketch, you know. So, but let's go on. I got time today for this.
Go ahead, Diamond Princess. I'm gonna let her go ahead. Go.
My brother is dating a woman with with 2 kids.
Okay.
Yeah, so what he's saying is true. That's just a bunch of BS that they put out there. And let me be honest with you. These same guys that he's saying that, don't date a single mother, their value as though they're the same people that are getting with these single mothers. Trust me, there are more women with children than women without children. So let's be real. Let's be real here. Okay, so we can't sit here and sit in a make-believe world that this stuff is going on. It's not. Men are not basing off of what women have children are not. You know, whether they want to date women with children, that's on them, but most likely a man will date women with children because that's his choice. That's who he chooses to deal with.
Let me ask
taking on a responsibility.
Let me ask BMT really quick, because I know at one point, BMT, you were in the manosphere like really heavy, right? So
yes,
why?
I am.
Yeah. So why is it such a huge talking point about bashing single mothers? Is it because they feel like they're entitled? Is that what they don't like? The entitled.
Ooh, can I go?
I
have one because I can tie it to what he said earlier too. But go ahead, Mr. BMT.
Well, the thing about it is, and yes, I was Manosphere 2.0. I am BMT. But actually, I did. Yes, Brandon. I guess you did your research. It's simply put that they don't have access to that woman. Even as much as they say that I can get any woman, but why are you specifically attacking that type of woman? Is it because you got mommy issues, or is it because, like Diamond was saying, like, yo, like because if I can lower your self-esteem, if I can badger and bash you and make you feel less than, then you would accept anything. It's like I mentally abuse you verbally, so that way you will accept me for who I am, regardless of holding me to a standard. And so there are some women that they lose that self-esteem of holding a man to standard, but the men can have a standard. Well, if you're this and that, then you're unworthy. But then if a woman says, well, if you're this type of man, notice, then I don't want to drop the draws, or I don't feel like I am obligated just because you took me out for a $55 date that I have to do that. Like, I'm sorry, like $50 or $75 ain't a lot to me. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's just,
The irony for me is that as my income went up, single mothers became more attractive to me because I didn't worry about the money so much, right? When I didn't have any money, dating a single mother was like, okay, there's no point even messing with her because I definitely can't help her pay for daycare, childcare, whatever
is needed.
Yeah. But now that, I'm pretty well off now. So if I meet a woman that's a single mother, I have no problem saying, hey, I'll pay for a babysitter so we can go out to this restaurant or whatever. So it's ironic compared to what he says is that, and I've noticed it among men in my circle, because we have more money now, some of those sundries are less of a burden than they were when we were in our early 20s. And I also want to say one thing, too, that BMT answered earlier about why the men have been a bit lazy at catching up. I think a lot of it has to do with the ease of premarital sex. And that if the men had less access to premarital sex, they would feel that impulse to do more. So I do believe that stressing less of that is going to help women get what they want ultimately down the road. But it's going to be very tough.
It is. It's going to be really tough. And you guys hit on like a lot of really interesting topics because, I was talking to a friend of mine that is Caucasian, and he was saying something, very similar. And it was really interesting to hear that it kind of spans, like your thought process spans across races. It's not just a Black man thing, it's a man thing. So that's kind of actually interesting to me.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's going to be something where like I said, I don't want it to be where only just. I think some people only think that only just men think about sex. Believe me, I know some women are like, listen, like when it's sweatpants season, trust me, y'all women can become.
Yes,
we can go to beast mode too.
Right.
Exactly. But see, that's what people get hurt because the women are now playing the game like the men. Like it's different where it would just
it's not. Yeah, it's too masculine for women to play the same game.
See, it's different when I see Brandy and Diamond and all of y'all ladies and all y'all ladies on the panel. If we was at the club and I'm throwing dollars, but then I look over there and the other girl on the pole, y'all are throwing dollars at her and probably bottles too, and like
right.
another way, like, okay, let me get to that ATM machine. Like, I'm not going to let these ladies out throw money like I do. But the women are now playing the game too. They're now playing the game too.
They are.
So,
they are.
so
But anyway,
So-
you
I think the women that get hurt are the ones that aren't playing the game. Because I think the ones who aren't playing are the ones that still think that sex leads to relationships. The ones who are more masculine, they have no problem going out, getting an FB, and letting that FB take away the itch they have, and then they can date with a clear mind. It's the ones who I think it's the older fashioned women are the ones getting hurt in the modern dating game, not the ones who've adjusted to the new rules, in my opinion.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know, Shot, because like that could be true. But I think, I mean, as a woman ages, like I'm in my mid-30s. I don't know if y'all knew that, but I'm in my mid-30s, and like, you know, I don't give, you know, I don't give a fuck anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, like.
Because the modern women are more suspicious. They're more cynical, right? It's the older fashioned women. They probably watch Disney movies a lot more.
Which generation?
Because if we're grown, like, okay, so if we're two grown adults, we go out, we have a good time, and we're like, okay, like, how about we go grab a room, go chill out, and see where it goes from there. As grown adults, we're consenting. We know what we're getting into, and it's nothing where, you know, listen, sometimes the women be like, you know what? It was all right sex. I might call him, I might not call him. I'll think about it when I want to call him. And like I said, like, it's now an equal playing field where you don't have to, like, it's nothing where, well, daddy signed me off with a dowry. Like, the women are now, they're choosing, just like men were trying to choose, the women are choosing. Like, you can't shame a woman's vagina no more. Like that them days.
BMT. Go back 2 steps, right, from what you said. What are they talking about before they meet up and then have this hotel visit? When the guy and the lady are talking, is he presenting himself as if he's just a cad and is mostly interested in being a physical relationship of hers, or is he speaking the language of a suitor?
I just want to know which generation of women you're talking about.
Well,
which generation of older women?
45.
I was saying, my mom talk nasty. I can't listen to my mama talk.
Yeah. I don't think it's really an age gap so much as it's how they view gender relations, right? If you had a mother who was like a flower child in the 60s and then she raised an 80s baby, that woman's going to have a quote modern mentality versus a woman from a more religious household that was very strictly biblical. Even though that woman might be 20 years younger, she has a 70-year older mentality.
Them church girls are freaks. I'm just like right now, church girls are freaks. Don't ever let that lie to you. They have a lot of sex too. I would honestly
say, as
you know, church women, they hold out on sex.
You know, you might find those women that, you know, that are freaks that, you know, would give it up, but you do have those church women that, you know, that will hold out for marriage.
No, okay, that's fair. Like I said, like this is why I when I'm wary, when I hear the social media conversation, because it's like when you have the conversation, you start to know what you're getting into when you have certain conversations. Like, is it always about my body? Is it always about my money? You understand what I'm saying? Like, as adults, we start to feel out the conversation. And if men and women, after a while, you're going to knowingly choose what you want to do. It's like that song with Miguel and Johnny Eco. Like, you know, I know that she thinks that I'm a hoe, but I don't care. Like, she's going to do what she want to do, and I'm going to do what I want to do. Like, we can choose.
It's a good song, too.
Right, and I love that song, like, because honestly, I'm like, I don't put that constraint. Like we just finished talking about, and you saw when I sent you that video about LaMelo and Tiana Trump, like this body count talk and stuff. Like honestly, I'm gonna be with who I want to be with, regardless of what anybody else says. Like,
and aren't they really young though?
Yes.
Really
She got a body count, and like I said, he's now an NBA player, and his daddy was like, "Don't get with them type of women." And guess what he did? He chose what he wanted to get with. So, honestly, as people, as we talk, we know what we want to get. Now, here's the thing: the problem, like when people say, like, you know what, it's about the eyes. Like, I'm just going off of just looks. Well, I would say you're a fool because you can go off of looks. Like everything that looks good ain't really nice, and everything that looks,
you think the reason why men are saying don't mess with a woman with a lot of body count is because they want to mess with them, or like what's the reason why they're saying that?
That could be dirty macking. It happens. Dirty macking is real. It happens all the time.
I never cared. For me, I never cared about body count. I'm gonna be honest. That's for me. But y'all already know how I am. Brandy knows how I am. Like, I never cared for body count, but I think that's stupid because how the hell do you know? It's not like there's a counter down below at our sticks.
An odometer.
It's not like there's a counter down there.
Right. It's not like you can stick. It's not like you can stick something in there and be like,
Look, I would never ask how many women he slept with. That's none of my business. Like, all I wanna know is that is he sexually experienced?
There is some modern day bro science where men believe that if women have more than X amount of partners, they lose the ability to pair bond. So that's kind of like a big topic in the more scientific manosphere. You'll hear that quoted often.
I don't know.
I'm gonna stay away from that. I'm gonna stay away from that. But like I said, like, okay, so let's say I was in a bad relationship, but then I find one of you sisters and y'all make me happy. But you have, I guess, 15 dudes you've been with. Should I care or no? Because you make me happy.
I mean, at the same time, I'm not going to go promoting that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be like, hey, honey, I've had like 50, partners.
But I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying? Who's doing it? Like, I had 200 people before I got to you. Like, nobody's doing like.
Don't let me know though.
I mean, but it's all subjective though, right? Like, for one man, you can hear someone say like 15 is too much. For another man, 5 might be too much. So it's really just subjective. So it's like, does the body count even matter? Because it's
gonna be searching forever.
Right. It doesn't matter. Like, why? First of all, why do you even need to know that? It doesn't even matter. Right.
So that's the issue where, like I said, like when we're going off of the subjectivity of the looks or what the ideal relationship, it's subjectivity towards, you're going off of what they are doing versus what you feel is comfortable towards you. Because honestly, if I'm good with you, you make me happy, and I mean whatever we got going on, like I said, in the conversation that gets me floated, I'm going with that. I'm taking that. Like I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, you have your limit. Like, I'm the type of person like, hey, I let you know who I am. I let you know my sexual deviancy. And if you choose to entertain it, that's on you. You understand that. But if you're the type of person, I've been on a date with a woman says, you know what, I'm not looking to have sex. Okay, cool. So I didn't get my hopes up for that. But then when after we finished going out, I took her back home. She's like, so you're not going to try to get a hotel, or you're not going to try to get at it? I'm like, well, you said you want to go home. She was like, nigga, take me to the goddamn hotel. Like, look. Like, I was like, oh, okay, let's go.
Right, let's go.
Nicole and Brandy, I have a question for you both.
Yes.
When was the last time you went dancing?
Oh. Like, really? Well,
what kind of dancing? Like,
well, right now we'll leave it open to any kind.
Any kind of dancing. I mean, we just went to New Orleans and we had a blast. Yeah. And because
I think a big part of the push towards always having sex is that we've sort of lost that in-between stage where you get to move the intimacy, you get to see what kind of rhythm, right, your date has. I think the missing ingredient to me is the lack of partner dancing, whether it's like freaky stuff like, dance hall was in reggae or whatever, or like, like I love going to raves and dancing to house music and going to any club where they dance to R&B. So I think that's like a major missing piece of the puzzle.
You know what? That's so true, Shot. So Brandy and I, we went out for brunch last weekend. Brandy, was it?
Yes.
And this guy randomly grabbed me and started to, kind of dance with me. And we were doing a very I don't know what he sent it to me. I forgot. It's kind of like a salsa, but it's not.
Oh yeah, it was so cute.
Yes, but it was so, and I told Brandy after, I was like, oh my gosh, like I really enjoyed that. It was so nice, and it wasn't necessarily like sexual in that way, but it was just really cool to like dance and you, like you said, that middle ground, right? It's not sex, but I'm still kind of getting to feel your body, and we're still having this connection, and it's
Some more
intimacy.
sensual,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was very sensual. Yeah, that was fun. I like that.
But see,
Yeah.
Was it bachata? Maybe.
Maybe we had a lot of champagne that day.
Right. So I couldn't even tell you what y'all were doing, but y'all were
You
cute.
are forgiven. What were you saying, Mr. BMT?
No, but see, that simply comes into that is the level of the relationship where it's called the assessing of demands. Whereas to you're speaking on certain stuff into the universe that you would like or that you never had. This is why I don't understand. This is why I don't understand. Like when you start to understand that people have lost the art of conversation, of learning how to actually talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to be more than what I am. I don't try to speak about or do anything. Like what you see is what you get. And if it goes to something more, then we can work on that. So if it's something where you're like, we're talking, I'm like, hey, have you ever been canoeing? No, that's scary, but I'll be willing to try it. Then let me write that down and let me put that in there because that's a memory that you're going to remember. So we do that, and I put in a backpack some, I don't know, some little sparkle champagne or some stuff like that. Take pictures. That woman's gonna be like, damn, like that nigga pulled that shit off. Like I ain't never had some Jason Lyric like canoe ride and some shit like that. But it's the effort. That's what a lot of women want to see, or the investment.
Yeah.
Just like if a woman were to cook dinner, she's like, well, damn, I did my hair and cooked dinner for you. Like you can at least compliment me, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Compliment.
Right.
So that's what people. That's what women. That be the things that be sparking off that can make or break a situation. I always try to tell
According
people.
according to AMS, he said don't compliment a woman, no matter
See,
how cute she is.
Oh my God. AMS does not have any credibility. He's so toxic. He is so toxic.
you see the thing about this is why I say cap, because what people say one thing on social media, but then be doing something totally different around people behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you gotta understand. This is why I always begin chuckles and laughs about. Well, if I had a woman, then this is how I. It's always these hypotheticals of telling people. But I'm saying like okay, that's fine. You do you, but I'm not gonna take that serious because you women on this panel, y'all know how y'all deal with women. Just like the brother on the panel, how he talks with men. I mean, how he deals with men and women in his life, and how he deals with the women that he deals with. That's how, like, everybody has a different experience of how they deal with it. That's why I never shame people for what they do. Like, if you say your requirement on your date is, listen, I would at least like for you. If I would at least, I want to be courted. Or some women are like, yo, you gotta leave, you gotta meet my family. Like, if you can't get through my family, then we ain't going no further. Like, some people are just like that. They have certain stigma. Never drop your standard for nobody, because when you drop your standard for one, you'll be finding yourself starting to compromise for other people. That's why,
because you bring that toxic energy that you don't want, or the standards that you don't want when you start opening up like that.
Yeah, because the reason why they do not want to bring the family around is because the family is going to expose them, because they can see right through the bullshit, especially the dad, if it's a guy, but that's why they don't want to see the family. But you're right, if they don't want to see or meet your family, then we can't go further in their relationship. We're gonna have to cut our losses and move on.
right, exactly. So, and think about it. So that's why, when alluded to how Brandy was telling us of the woman that's married to a man, say, hey, it's okay if you cheat and X, Y, and Z. Imagine her saying that in front of people she actually cares about. You get what I'm saying? And saying, they're gonna be looking at her like, hold up, wait. You're giving him the card to cheat? Like, girl, what's really going on? Like, what's
it's
really
sad,
happening?
but there have been mothers who have told their daughters to accept that kind of thing. It's an old fashioned mentality,
It's an
but it
old
still
fashioned
happens.
mentality. Yeah, it is.
So understand. So when you do that and you speak that into the universe, that kind of stuff, you got to ask yourself, like, what? Because I was talking about child abuse and curses and stuff like that. And so when you're telling your people to accept these type of bad stigmas or behaviors, you gotta understand what beats you down so much, like that Color Purple scene where, you know what? Well, Harper,
Not
Mr.
the Color Purple scene.
Oh no, we gotta pull that card up. But some women will tell their girlfriends, like, girl, he don't love you if he don't put his hands on you, or if he don't curse you out. Like, wait, hold on, what kind of stuff are you going through that you accepted that? Like, maybe we need to get you an intervention. So you gotta understand, like, you gotta start having these conversations where you're like, you know what? No, like, I have no smoke if you have, like, I'm teaching my daughters to stand on their own. Like, yo, you don't have to take that from no man. Same thing, like, as a man, listen, you don't have to get dogged out by no woman. You can say, okay, cool, let me take my penis and sling it on my shoulder and walk out that house. Like, I get it.
Do you have any sons?
Yes, I do. I do have sons.
How do you handle those similar, like, navigating relationships with your sons versus your daughters?
Oh, that's a good question.
Ooh, you cut deep. You really cut deep. So
I'm trying to make
talk about it. Talk about it. Okay.
Okay, so the thing about it is, I do talk to my son about, first of all, ask her what's her goals. You want to ask a woman what's her goals. Does she have a dream? You know what I'm saying? Does she have ambitions? You want a woman who's actually chasing an ambition, that actually has a purpose in life. Like, you gotta ask yourself, when's the last time a man actually came up and said, like, hey babe, what are you trying to do? Like, are you trying to go back to school? What are you trying to chase a goal? Are you trying to get into something? Like, that
So
means
you're teaching your sons to respect women. I like that.
So I because you want somebody who, men should chase for a woman that is goal orientated, that has ambition, that literally can say, I know my credit score. I know this stuff. Like,
it's important.
So that way, okay, I see my girl is building, so I want to build. And if I help her and she's helping me, she's encouraging, we're encouraging each other, we're not going to shy away from each other, because like, I think my son, he's going to go be a plumber. His girlfriend, she's looking at going into medical. I think she's doing something for blood. She's talking about learning how to draw blood and stuff in the hospital stuff. And he was sitting there helping her study. And
wow.
And I thought that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, he would go pick up lunch, he would go help her pay for her books, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But in the same thing, she was buying him equipment. So she was like, babe, when you finish and you get your certifications, you know what I'm saying, I wanna buy you your first, your equipment belt. So they're encouraging each other in their goals. So that way, when they get together, they're gonna be a strong power couple. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have something to work for. You know what I'm saying? So that's a woman you want by your side, and that's a man you want to. That's a man that I'm training him to be. Like, talk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they have their argument. Yeah, they have their fight. But I'm like, it's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? I heard his friend say, man, your girl, she just snapped back at you. And I said, son, that's what a woman does. A woman she uses her words to snap back at you. Like, she ain't no punk. You want a woman that can speak her mind. Like, you don't want no docile woman that, yes, whatever. Like, I want you to talk back. Say something like, okay. But you know the thing about, I give her credit, and I had a conversation. I said, if y'all gonna have a conversation, you go step off to the side. You don't have a conversation in front of your friends. You don't have it on social media
or in public. Right.
Don't do that.
Most guys, most guys are serious. Like, they really don't want their women to talk back. Like, if she even pops out of the mouth, he might use that hand.
See, so
that's an immature. That's a little boy. That's an immature man.
Right, because the thing about it is, as a woman, your job is to whisper into my ear in the chamber counsel. You know, you understand what I'm saying? You might see whenever, like, and think about this, ladies. Whenever your mate has brought somebody around or did certain stuff, the way women will look at it is through an objective, different eye than how men look at it. Like they actually look for detailed stuff. So,
oh yeah.
And they'll start saying, "Baby, like, no, don't do that. Like, watch out. Like, don't stay away from people." Women will do certain stuff like that because they are territorial by nature about their men and their people. So they start giving certain critiques. That's why they do stuff behind the scenes. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so that right there, you're protecting your investment, which she has done. Like, yo, like your friend, he's always getting in trouble with the police. Like that hurt him that she said that, and that did stress their relationship. But she did say that out of love. But she's like, listen, if he's always getting in trouble with the police, you don't need to be around him because what if one day he gets you caught up? Was she saying that out of hate, or she's trying to get him away from his friends? No, she was saying that to protect her man. Women have a different way to protect their men than how men protect. Women do it differently. So she was only protecting her interest in her man, you know? So that's the type
I tell every woman I date up front that I have a strong ego. So go ahead and speak your mind. I can handle criticism, no problem. I prefer to get the feedback early and often than wait for something tragic to happen.
Yeah, I feel that.
Everybody like that though. It's honestly it's very refreshing to hear you guys say that.
Oh yeah, very.
From I don't know, Brandy, if you've experienced that, but I feel like I experienced some of the opposite sometimes, where men's egos are a little bit more fragile, and it's like you have to kind of walk on eggshells to kind of, express your feelings and make them understand, like, hey, I'm not trying to take you away from your friend. I'm trying to protect you. I'm not trying to, diss your interest in X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to open you up to something else. And a lot of people aren't, open to that. So it's refreshing to hear you guys say that, but unfortunately, I don't know if you guys are the majority.
I've actually dated men who are open, they're open to criticism, but I think it's my personality too, because I am also open to criticism. I like to work with my partner.
We tend to cluster because it's also a problem for men, right? When men deal with other men, we often have to evaluate how we build our teams based on the personalities, right? So say I've usually had pretty decent leadership positions. When I'm picking my executive officer, I want somebody who has no fear about speaking their mind, because I don't want to have to say, hey, how did you view XYZ? I want them to tell me immediately after we're done, hey, look, sir, this, that, and the other thing, those two things, and not a big fan of. Third thing was pretty good. Don't wait, because when you wait, problems just build, right? When you get it early, you can work on it.
Yeah.
And if you want to, I'll drop down so Mello can get some burnt.
No, it's okay, because I'm about to hop off anyway, guys. I don't like to stay on these things too long. And it's almost like this is the longest live I've been on for my channel. But I'm about to get
I
out
don't
of
like
here.
long lives either. I just don't like
I know. Do y'all have any lasting comments?
I don't think I'll go ahead.
If you have
so yeah, please be aware of the risk that is out there. Women, if if a man approaches you and and you guys been dating and you found out that he's married and he didn't tell you, it is time to leave his ass alone. Do not continue the relationship with him, because there has been women, including me, that has been in a relationship with these married men and it does not work out with him in the long run because he already has a wife. So please, get yourself out of that situation where you don't end up brokenhearted or, stressed out because you guys don't talk that often, or you guys are just, he's just using you as a booty call. So please be aware of a cheating man, because he just out, to have his cake and eat it too. That's all I have to say on that.
Okay. Thank you, Diamond Princess. Thank you, Shot, for hopping on. Do you have a channel, Shot?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Because I like your voice. You have a really nice speaking voice.
Thank you.
But thanks for Thank you. Yeah, thanks for hopping on, supporting my channel. BMT, do you have anything else to say? I know I've got to hop on a live. When is your next live, BMT? Did we lose BMT?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Ooh. There you go.
Left on red.
Left on red. That's all right. I'm gonna hit him up.
When are we gonna have the wine talk with Miss Nicole?
Oh, we've got to have a wine talk. A girl.
I want to talk about wine and athleisure wear because I think those two things combined can give us some great date night ideas.
Oh, that's a good idea, Nick. We should do that. We should do that. We should do that live coming soon. Okay.
Yes, I'm here for it.
All right, Nick. All right, boo. Well, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next live. Thanks for watching.